Hi, I'm Casey,
Hey, I'm Melissa.
and thanks for tuning in to the CRE Chat Live podcast.
Podcast.
So our June CRE chat, we kind of, since it's the middle of summer, we talked about maybe like a slow time in our business. Other businesses as well might get kind of slow over the summer with a lot of decision makers being out of town, a lot of things to move forward on deals, just those people being out of town. So Melissa, what was the topic of our CRE chat for June, and what did we discuss?
Yeah, so in June, we talked about our topic was the summertime slump, which we thought really went perfectly with a June Siri chat. And if you're not, we're going to back up for a second. A lot of people maybe watching this aren't familiar with what a Siri chat is. And our Siri chat happens once a month on Twitter, and it's really easy to participate. You basically look up our Twitter handle, Siri Chat Live. That's CRE Chat Live, all one word. And at 7:30 Central on the day of the chat, you join in. That would be 7:30 Central PM. You join in, and Casey and I typically we have a guest host, and that guest host will be kind of an expert on the topic that we're talking about that month, and we'll post a question with the hashtag CRE Chat, and then everybody jumps in and answers the question. It's really fun, it's really interactive, and it's really spontaneous. It's only an hour and it goes by really fast. So the goal of this video podcast, and it will be a audio podcast as well, is to take our chat and recap it for those of you who may not have been able to participate. So back to Casey's question, summertime slump. Casey and I probably, we put a lot of thought into the podcast, and we were talking one day, and Casey is probably my go-to person if I'm slow one day, just to vent. And I guess I'm yours too, Casey. So I think we were both just one day talking about, Casey typically asks me how my day is, and I ask her about hers, and we were just both realizing it was slow that day. And sure enough, we were talking. Casey was like, "Why don't we do a Siri chat on summertime slump?" So we in doing the Siri chat, we realized that we're not the only two people in commercial real estate who experience a slump or a slowdown in the summer.
And that's something that when I brought that up too was, am I the only one experiencing this? Is it just the Memphis market? Is it happening in Nashville? Are we seeing it in Dallas, in Houston? And it sounded like from our chat that some people experienced this slowdown. So our first question of the CRE chat was, how do the summer months affect your business? And do the brokers, anybody in commercial real estate or another industry, is it difficult to get deals closed or to move deals forward?
Yeah, and sometimes when your deal isn't moving forward, you think you're the only one in the world who can't get anything done in the summer, but the responses were absolutely unanimous. Coy Davidson basically said, my deals are crawling to the finish line. And, some of the other people said it happens every year at the same time for me. I'm trying to think who said that.
I love Mike Cobb's. His
Yes.
response was, is it a summer slowdown or a market slowdown? Same question every year.
Yeah, and when things get slow, in commercial real estate, we're used to a very fast-paced environment. When things get slow, we start to question: is it the summer? I think we forget, that this happens every year. We think it's the summer. Is something happening with the market? What's going on? So to hear everybody's responses, basically saying, "Yes, it happens to me," basically validates the fact that yes, you will see a slowdown in the summer. And a lot of people said, it's basically their clients are on vacation, right? You go on vacation, or your colleagues are out of town. So of course, if you can't get in touch with decision makers, there's going to be a slowdown.
Yeah, and Ben, your partner, said, I feel like everybody's out of town on vacation. He just said, just have to stay on top of it and keep the deals moving forward, even during these slow months.
Exactly.
And Mike Cobb also went on to say that it's better than back in the day. So who's really unavailable when traveling? I mean, we're so mobile these days, emails on our phones, at the beach responding to emails, taking phone calls.
That's true. You know, just to bring it to actually today. Today is July the 3rd, which is obviously the day before 4th of July, and a lot of people are on vacation or taking today off. So there's not a lot going on today. And Ben and I were working on a survey today, and we needed some OPEX numbers. Operating expenses is what OPEX is. Basically, we work in industrial, so all of our leases are triple net leases. So operating expenses are in addition to the asking rate. So we needed some numbers that we didn't have. And to your point, Casey, I was like, I'm not going to try even call these brokers at their desk. Everybody's probably out and about, maybe have already taken off, but I know everybody has their phone on them. So instead of making phone calls, I sent emails and got a lot of responses back. So he's right. You know, you're right. Everybody has their phone with them, whether they're on vacation or not.
Yeah. And there are things to do even when the day is slow. And which brings us to our second question, which was five must-dos during a slow day or a slow week. So even if our summertime, the length of the summer is kind of dragging or slow for our business, even when you get a slow day when you're just waiting for people to respond, there are still things that we could be doing.
Yeah, you're right. I want to hear what your 5 are.
What are my 5? I think it's mostly just more the paper pushing, and kind of cleaning up my desk, getting some of the stuff that has been on my to-do list done. It's like, whether it's following up, bumping somebody, making it one last call. I think it's really more of the paperwork side of it.
Yeah, which isn't always, you know, the funnest thing, but you've got to do it at some point. So slow days are a great day to do that.
What are your 5?
I have them pulled up right here. My number 1 was I pray, because I'm like one of those people. I just, you know, I get like, oh, I know some of this is out of my control. So first of all, I pray. And then I do make calls on, typically not on a slow day, especially when it's holiday. I don't make any cold calls, but make either calls or text to clients following up on something. And also just to tell my clients, you know, happy, whatever the holiday is, happy 4th of July, you know, or happy Father's Day, happy whatever day it is that day. Just to let them know that, you know, I'm thinking about them, just to make a point of have a reason to contact them and say hello. Also write handwritten notes a lot on these days. I've written a ton of handwritten notes this week because it has been a slow week. So it's always a great day. Handwritten notes for me take a while. I like to put a lot of thought into them. So it's nice to have a slow day when I can sit down and actually think. And the office is a little bit quieter. We're in a big open office, so it's a lot quieter around here, and I can actually put some good thought into them. Reviewing and setting goals was my number 3, which is always important. You need to be reviewing them all, you know, reviewing your goals, looking at your goals. Here at Foundry, we started a thing called OKRs, which is objectives and key results. So that's a new thing that we're rolling out, and we are setting goals not only for our team, but for us individually, which is good. Prospect, you know, yesterday I was out in the market prospecting. It was a slow day, but it was a great day, you know, to be out of the office, driving around the market and seeing what's going on in the market and just talking to potential clients. So it's been an awesome week for that. And then last but not least, I stop and take a breather, because, you know, we stay so busy in this business, we forget what it's like just to step back and take a break. So I've actually stepped back and today just, you know, hey, I don't have to move so fast today. I'm still working, but I can relax a little bit. So, and just reminding myself that it's okay to do that.
Yeah, and kind of your OKRs. Also goes along, I'm guessing, with your business plan. So something to reevaluate was a big topic that a lot of people said to do, is just reevaluate your business plan mid-year, where it needs to go, how it's been, and adjust as necessary.
Absolutely. Yes. And at the broker list actually said that they said basically the first thing they said was revisit your processes and try to improve. So it is definitely a time to reflect and also make some adjustments. But I also thought, and there was another thing that Diane Danielson said in one of her top 5 was write a blog post or an article, which I think, oh my goodness, what a great time to do that, right, Casey?
Yeah. Yeah, Corey Davidson wanted to tweet more. So again, personal branding, blog articles, white papers, and maybe go ahead and set up scheduling your social media posts to go ahead and get that out of the way for the second half of the year around holidays or articles you want to share. You can go ahead and schedule those and set that up too.
Exactly.
And somebody else said to just do one thing to get the deal to move forward. Again, like I said, follow up, make that last phone call, bump an email, write a note. So just one thing to try to get that last thing over the line. Sarah Terry out of Dallas mentioned just having lunch and breakfast with somebody new or somebody that you haven't seen in a while.
That's a great idea. I enjoy having breakfast with people, but a lot of times the days are so busy you don't have time for that. So if somebody's still in town and it's not a holiday, I think that's a great idea.
And we covered a lot of what everybody said.
Yeah, we have. And I guess we should move on to the next question because I think it's a really good one. It's one that I struggle with a lot. And we were asking people, so, after what are these top 5 things you do, even though you're doing those top 5 things, maybe the slow period could be extended. It could be a day, it could be a week. So we were asking on the chat, how do you stay optimistic during this time period? How do you stay positive and keep looking ahead instead of, getting discouraged or disappointed that things aren't moving forward?
Yeah, and again, it's almost kind of going back to the top 5. Get out in the market, or pick up reading a new book or something to benefit you and your business and give you a new perspective on things.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's also a lot of times. One thing for me that helps me stay positive, and I said at the beginning of the podcast, you and I vent to each other. So I have a couple of people like you, Casey, who I can talk to and who are positive influencers in my life and that can say, Melissa, basically bring me back to reality. Everything's going to be okay. And this is why, or remind me, Melissa, you've been here before. Everything worked out. It's not going to, this slow period's not going to last forever. And I actually have we're in an open office again, and I have somebody who sits next to me. His name is John Green. And he listens to a lot of podcasts and he's always very positive and optimistic. So on days like that, I really enjoy talking to him, or just if I say one thing to him, he's really good about encouraging me and helping me get out of that funk.
Yeah. And also what Corey Davidson said was to just look at 6 months from now, look at 12 months from now, go back to your pipeline and see what's going to be happening or what's going to be closing in the 6, 12, 18 months. So it's also important to, of course, see where you are now, but also what is going to happen in the next few months once we're kind of out of summer and everybody's back into the groove of getting stuff done before the end of the year.
That's true. And in a slow period, this business to me is like this. This is how it goes up and down. And so I think during that slow period, and to Coy's point, you do always need to be looking ahead and what is basically what you're working on today. Things take a while to close, right? That pipeline, it takes a while to get things moving along the pipeline. Rarely does a deal start and finish within a month or two. It is about a 6-month process. It could be a little bit shorter, could be a little longer, but he's right. And I think to what you were saying, Casey, is you can go, okay, so look 6 months ahead, what am I working on today? And if it is slow today, what can I do to change that? So in 6 months from now, I won't be slow. One of the best things to do is get out in the market and cold call if you're a broker.
Yeah. And also on another side of that is to enjoy your vacations, which was a response as well. How do you stay optimistic during this slow time or the slow period? Is enjoy it too, because we know how it's going to be when it starts ramping back up again.
You're exactly right. And a lot of people we were talking about vacation guilt, who experiences it. I can't remember if that's one of our questions or not. If I'm jumping ahead, I'm sorry. But a lot of people, it was kind of a mixed bag. But some people say, no, I take off for my vacation and I still work from vacation, but I also enjoy it. And then other people say, no, I feel guilty when I go on vacation. So yeah, if you're taking a break, sometimes you really do just need to check out and be mindful that your brain may need a break and this and be accepting of this slow period as a good opportunity to take a breather, like you said, and because it's not always going to be this way, and if you don't ever take a break, you will burn out, and you're doing disfavor for, you're not doing anything for your client, you're not doing anything for yourself, you're not doing anything for your team, right?
Yeah, just kind of refresh your minds. Take a day if you need to. That way you come back and you can better serve your clients and your teammates and be that positive energy in the office, because nobody wants to be around somebody that's, oh, it's so slow, or, and I know none of us are like that, but there could be other people that are part of the team that feel that way. So it's always good to keep the best energy in the office and continue to move forward and take a break if needed. And another good thing to do in the summer, maybe picking up in the opportunities may be limited just because it's summer, but picking up opportunities to speak on a panel or do a presentation or reach out to other groups to get them interested in commercial real estate, maybe visit a college during one of their summer terms or summer classes.
That's a great idea. Or just mentor somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe plan ahead. The summer's going to be a little bit slower, so that is a great time to give back to the community, right? And also to your point about speaking engagements, that does wonders for us in our business, because it basically brands you as the expert in whatever you're talking about. So you should always work towards getting speaking engagements in this business.
And on top of reevaluating our business plan as needed in the middle of the year, our question 4 was, how do we plan or reevaluate our business during these months? So I know we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but we'll go over some of the responses that we got on our CRE chat on Twitter. And you said, Melissa, that July is a really good indicator of where the year will end. So like we previously said, it's good to reflect on goals as well as missed opportunities and readjust.
Yeah, it is. I mean, basically, if something hasn't closed in July, you can, I have most brokers probably do have a spreadsheet of what you're working on, and I can look and see, I see what's closed. I see what may be coming to a head. Maybe we'll close before the end of the year. So this month is really a good indicator of where you're going to end up in your year. And then again, we talk about goals, maybe reevaluating. How can I plan for the following year? Because I basically know where I stand this year. Because if you start a new deal in June or July, it likely, unless the client is going to be on a pretty tight schedule, likely you're basically working a year out. Hopefully you're working a year out on, especially a leasing, either a renewal or somebody who's looking for a new space, just to give you plenty of time to find space. But since you're working that far out, you basically know if you start a new project here in June or July, it's not gonna. You can take a look and see how your business is going to do by the end of the year. You just and you know what you're gearing up for the following year. So I think July is it's a good month to just get everything in check. And also, people were saying, we're talking about reevaluating your business. Maybe this is a time, again, we keep talking about look back on the year, but it is a time to reflect and see. Also, I know there are probably some things that I wanted to do that I haven't done yet that may either help my clients or my business. So what's maybe one new thing, if I'm sitting here in July, one new thing I can implement this month in July that would help my business for next year?
Yeah, and Diane Danielson, she's not a broker, she's COO with SVN. So she was saying that her plan is just a little different. So maybe she said do a time money audit and look at your calendar. What have you done that had no return on investment, and cut out those activities?
That is such a good one, Casey. Diane is so full of wisdom, and I cannot wait to have her on a future chat and on a future podcast, because I know you and I both have met her in person, and she's just full of good wisdom, information about this business, and she's just a solid woman in this business who supports other women. So I 100% agree with that, and just think she makes a really good point there.
And reevaluating time management, Samantha Lowe out of San Francisco. Again, kind of going back to Diane's point about cutting out what's potentially wasting your time, and maybe seek help or see where you can give some of those tasks to somebody else, or just be your time is your value.
Yeah, and I think also one thing I heard this week, which really stuck with me, is one of my coworkers, again, the guy who sits next to me is very positive. John was saying, he listens to these podcasts, and there was one he had listened to this week, and they were talking to successful people. And a lot of times you ask a successful person, what did you do to become successful? What are the things you do? And he said, this podcast was all about what are the things you don't do that help you be successful. So back to Samantha's point and Diane's point, what are the things that are hindering your business? Look back at the year. It's 6 months. You can see what's affecting you. What are the things that you're doing that may be wasting your time, that aren't helping you close those deals, that you need to delegate or you need to cut out altogether? Maybe it is, a lot of us are on social media, but maybe it's spending too much time on social media, or maybe you get up 1 hour earlier in the morning, or maybe just things like you're tired. Maybe you need to exercise or eat better, or do something that's better for your body, because we get in these the routine of working so much, we forget about taking care of ourselves. So I think it's a really good time to say, what are the things that I did that did not help me be successful these past 6 months? And maybe it takes 30 days to make or break a habit, right? So write it down and follow your calendar and follow it for 30 days and see if you can cut it out.
Yeah, and the summertime would be the perfect time to do that, with it being slow, to try to continue that new habit. So by the time August or September rolls around and things are picking up again, that is a new habit that you have.
Exactly. I think that's a great point.
Another point too is maybe ask around the office, whether you're seasoned or in any role, how you're doing. Maybe get feedback from your clients or feedback from your teammates. And again, maybe you can become better serve your clients and your team, and try to make that habit during the summer.
That's a great point. It's always a difficult question to ask, and sometimes it's difficult to hear constructive criticism, but it's always good.
Yeah.
We need to hear it, because sometimes we don't see some of the things that maybe we should change about how we do business, or how about ourselves. So I think that's a great point, to reach out to some people that are either at your work or your clients, some people you respect, to give you feedback.
Yeah, and you made a great point earlier talking about taking care of your health, because if we're not healthy, we can't work, we can't do what we love doing. So, and also eating healthy, exercising, all that goes into vacation or downtime, or just a mental break that you need. So, which you brought up before, our question 5 was, do you or somebody you work with get vacation guilt? And if you do, how do you avoid it?
Yeah. It is. You do need a mental holiday every once in a while. And yeah, we already talked, I guess I did skip ahead, and I'm so sorry, but the point of that question is, we, because we have our phones and we can be on 24/7. The point is what we're trying to say is maybe you shouldn't get this guilt, because you do need a break. You do need to take time for yourself, and you are on vacation, and it is called vacation for a reason. And and it's good to have this community of people that is so honest and really will say, yeah, I learned this lesson a long time ago. I remember one time I was on vacation and I had conference calls every day. My kids were all playing at the pool, and I was over off the side trying to make sure nobody heard, all the activity around me. And it really was like, if I wasn't that day, they wouldn't even miss me if I wasn't there, because I wasn't present. So it's really good to be present in the moment and enjoy that day. You've taken that break for a reason. Nothing's going to fall through especially if you're on a team, delegate to your team. So that's something my partner Ben and I talked about on the chat is I have full faith that my teammate will take over while I'm gone. I did a service trip to Greece. I went overseas for 2 weeks and to work with refugees, and he took over everything. I would check my emails maybe, and it was a different time zone, so I checked my emails maybe in the morning when I got up, but I knew he had it under control. So it is key before you go on vacation to make sure you plan well and you have that backup so you can enjoy your vacation and not worry about things.
Yeah, exactly. And Terry made a great point about she encourages her teammates to take vacation without any worry, which is so vital if you're on a team or you have hourly employees that you work with, that our job is very demanding and they get that too. And it is very important for them to be able to take vacation, especially if they're hourly, and not have to worry about constantly checking their emails. And hopefully there's enough support in the office where somebody else can handle a request from me or from somebody else if our person that helps us is out on vacation.
Right. Exactly.
And maybe when you are on vacation, and there is something that needs to get done, just block out 1 or 2 hours where you can sit down and get that done, whether it be first thing in the morning, maybe before you head out to the pool, or in the middle of the afternoon when you're eating lunch. And if it's necessary, then, we have to do that sometimes as well.
Yeah, if it is necessary, but there are things that you can avoid, like don't book a conference call in the middle of your vacation. Just wait until you're home. But there are certain tasks that maybe someone on here, I think it was, hold on, I'm going to scroll and I apologize. But basically they put a GIF of them working by the pool, but someone on here said, maybe it was Coy, George Cruz. It was George Cruz. So he was basically he was reevaluating his business plan while sitting by a pool. But you could do a lot of things while sitting by the pool. Maybe not being on a conference call, but you could do things that don't require your undivided attention. You can still enjoy your pool time and maybe reevaluate your goals or answer emails or text, things like that. But you don't want to devote your whole vacation to work. It's not good for anybody.
Yeah, Samantha said that she used to get vacation guilt when she was single, but now that she has a family, her perspective has changed significantly. And her family and her kids deserve her time. Like you said, her undivided attention, and your kids only grow up once. So you can miss out. You're missing out on important family time. And I don't have any kids, but my family is important to me. And luckily I have them in the same city, so I can see them at any time. But I really value my health, my vacation, and time to kind of check out, whether it be in the evenings. And how your workflow is going to go. So you kind of know what to expect when doing that.
Exactly. And that's what out of office is for. Turn your out of office on so people who are normally used to hearing back from you immediately know that it may take a little bit of time to get back with them. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. And I think that was a great question. I think we just had a really good discussion on it because we kind of zoomed through this in the chat because people are like, nope, no vacation guilt, take it. And it's exactly the point that we're trying to make, just being in such a connected world. And our last question question 6 of our CRE chat was, what personal or professional goals do you try to plan over the summer? So no vacation guilt. Where are we going? What do we have planned, and how are we improving ourselves over the summer?
Yeah, it seems like we talked about this throughout this podcast. And a lot of people said they're reviewing their goals. It's just a great time to do so. If you're not doing that, then you absolutely need to be doing that. I mean, I even said reset and recharge. We already talked about this over and over again. And also learning one thing, think about tasks that maybe take a little bit more time. Maybe you're going for your CCIM designation or some type of designation that you have to take a class or, go online or read a book. So what a better time than, it's the best time to better yourself. It's summer, because you have time on your hands, and time is you have a limited amount of it. So you have to use it wisely. So instead of sitting around, being mopey about why I don't have business right now, what's going on, why can't I get this deal done, take advantage of it and learn how to do so. And that was the whole point of this chat, is how we all go through this, and these are thought leaders in the industry. And these are top producers in the industry. So how are you guys making the summer work for you? How are you putting the summer to work for you, and the slow times to work for you? So it was just a really fun chat, and it was unexpectedly, I think it was one of my favorite ones, actually. I got a lot out of it. And some of the things that were brought up were just really honest and open. And I love how everybody said, yeah, we all deal with the same issues. We deal with this. And here's how we get around it.
Yeah, and to sum it up, Mike Hieronymus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, just to sum up the entire chat, was work-life balance. And that's just been such a topic of conversation and trending and articles, is that you need it. You can't work 24/7. We love our jobs. We can reevaluate our professional goals as well. So, I mean, really just work-life balance and preparing for next year and for business to pick back up.
Yeah, and I think to your point is the reason why we love our jobs is because we have that freedom to do what we want to do when we want to do it, right? We're not on a 9-to-5 schedule, and that's the great thing about this business. But it can also be a drawback because you forget how to take a break. So to hear from people like Michael saying life-work balance, no regrets, can't get that out, no regrets, then that is very encouraging to me. This guy is very successful, and he makes it a point to have balance in his life, and he has no regrets about it. So I don't think you're only going to help your business, help your clients, help your colleagues by taking time for yourself.
Absolutely. Well, I guess we've covered everything. If there's a lot more on Twitter, so you can see everybody's responses. If you go to the CRE chat live account, under moments, there's a recap of everybody's tweets, so you can see the questions, you can revisit it. Might be good to revisit in September, and if you need to reevaluate going forward as well, or if you have a slow day, stop by CRE chat live on Twitter and go through that those moments and just get the recap of people's responses and maybe get some ideas on what you could be doing that day. So our next CRE chat, August, we'll have a new topic. I know everybody's kind of starting school in August, September. So thanks for tuning into CRE chat and listening to us. Join us on Twitter, or create a Twitter account if you want to participate in the live chat and live discussion. So do you have anything else, Melissa?
Well, I just want to say, go back and look at the hashtag. You don't have to be there at 7:30 Central to participate. A lot of people participate after the chat. So go search hashtag CRE chat and see what people are saying. After you listen to this podcast, if you want to comment on what you're doing, please feel free to. And also feel free to reach out to Casey and I, DM us. My Twitter handle is @MBAlexand, and Casey's is
@CASCYFLANN. Casey No, that's not it.
Flan Casey.
Nncasey.
Yeah, say that again because I think I interrupted you. Say it.
You can follow me at Flan Casey. That's Flan with 2 N's and Casey with the C on Twitter.
Yeah, so follow us, DM us. Also follow us at Siri Chat Live on Twitter. And we hope you can join our next chat.
Yeah, and you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find us on Anchor FM and YouTube if you want to see our video of our podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, y'all. And we will see you back in August. Have a good summer.
Bye.